Alright guys, it's time once again for your regular weekend starter, the Afrogamer show. It's all about esports gaming and the games, and my name is Shayo, your regular host on the show. It's a great weekend, considering all that's happening here in Lagos, and that's about the Gameathon. If you watched the show last week, we delved straight into it and talked about so much happening, talking about Gameathon 2024 and the good work being done by the guys at the Africa Comicade. It's ongoing, it has started, it's been a fun-filled week, and it's coming to a crescendo next this Saturday, that's tomorrow, where everyone would be enjoying the after party, gaming on the side, and lots of fun at the Creative Block Festival. Welcome to the show, the Afrogamer show, and yes, I'm not doing this all by myself. I would have all through the show the Afrogamer himself. Ife Akitaju is back in the building, and yes, he is the executive editor, managing editor of the Afrogamer website. Ife, great to have you on the show after running away for so long.
It's good to be back once again. This time it's not virtual.
Yeah.
In person, so it feels good to be.
Feels good to be back.
Yeah, it does feel good to be back.
Definitely, and yes, we'll start straight away with the new segment this time on the show. Let's talk about the Gameathon 2024. Definitely, you've been following the progress made over the last few days and coming into the final stages this weekend. But most importantly, let's talk about the journey from 2020 when Oscar said it started till now. How would you rate the performance of the guys at Africa Comicade, and how much kudos are you looking to give to them?
Honestly, I don't want to be biased. I will give 11 over 10. And why I say this is they have brought to my consciousness and every other person the talents that we have in not just Nigeria but Africa, with the hackathon where you have 24 hours to make a game. Yeah. And then on different occasions, I've had the opportunity to be a judge. So I'll try games on PC, try games on mobile. And one thing stands out to me, that light bulb moment, like, we do have these talents in Africa. We just need that extra support. And outside of the big boys in the African ecosystem, the Gameathon and Oscar, they give a voice, an opportunity to the indie developers. The person who has finished from maybe University of Lagos and is learning to make games, the person finished from the University of Legon. So they are giving those opportunity, and it's coming into our consciousness that, you know, there's an alternative to, okay, I'm in IT, I'm in tech, and there's that game development side. So I must really commend them for how far they've come. Every year since 2020, people do come from outside of Lagos, outside of Nigeria. Yeah. You know, I know a lady who is she does voiceovers. Okay. I know another who is, she writes the script of how the gameplay should be. Copywriter. And they're all in Nigeria for the Gameathon. So that does speak a lot, that it's not just, okay, we're throwing something together in Lagos, but when we have people coming from Rwanda, Kenya, then that's to show that they're doing something right.
Definitely doing something right, definitely talking about growth. The only question I have for Ife, who said he has been a judge, is when he was called to bar, because I'm beginning to wonder why you'll be a judge.
No, but you have judges around.
That's just kidding, but definitely there's a lot of progress with the guys at the Gameathon. Let's leave that and talk about the man who's chasing the record. And we're waiting for that confirmation. Let's talk about Moshide Oluwole. He finally did the 100 hours.
He did the 100 hours.
With the 2-in-1 gaming stuff. Kudos to him.
Yeah.
We are waiting confirmation.
Yeah. Since he's been there before, he's not a newbie, so I believe he won't, you know, he won't fall into those pit stops that many people who make attempts to it fall into. I'm just hoping that he actually does what he said is the reason behind it. Yeah. You know, for people with spinal cord injuries. Yeah, exactly. So I'm happy for him once again. Congratulations. And let's see, confirmation first before we
give the final congratulations. Exactly. But the attempt definitely deserves some commendation to him. Let's talk about let's go to Asaba and talk about what's happening there. Pad soccer.
Yes.
And it hasn't happened in 2 years or a year.
A year.
Yeah, I know it was missing last year.
So I think they also started 2020. And it was nice to know that there was active esports outside of the Lagos area. So he has been consistent, which is leisure time entertainment. So he's been doing that, giving people in the southwest, south. I'm sorry, not southwest.
I understand.
Yeah, the south, south, that opportunity. So he hosts. You know, he's been doing it in Asaba. So people from Port Harcourt, people from Warri, Benin can all come. So reasons best known to him. He didn't do last year, but I think he's back. It's a 500,000 naira.
Better.
Sorry, you know with what's going on in the global esports now, we're using dollars.
It's dollars.
So it's a 500,000 naira
prize pool,
and it's EAFC. As to if it's 24 or 25, he didn't specify, but we're hoping that allows gamers from the south to be able to compete for cool cash.
Okay, cool cash, 500,000 naira available to be picked up by guys out there in Asaba. Not the first time, so let's see if a new champion would emerge in that one tournament that took a break last year following 3 editions that's been done before now. And let's take a trip out of Nigeria now, but still in Africa. Down south in South Africa, some good partnerships falling in place for Goliath Gaming, and they definitely are the poster team of esports on the continent, in my opinion.
Yes, 100%. They weathered the storm.
Yeah.
They've been a lot of teams have come and gone.
Yeah.
And they've been there. I think this is a peculiar partnership, very, very rare. But I think it's a good template. So they've signed with Samsung for their Z Fold, the new Z Fold that just came out, and they've used it to create content for gamers to either play mobile games, use it to play phone calls. So it's an actual partnership where you are seeing the gamers do something with it, outside of just taking pictures with it. We're actually seeing content, and for some reason, all of a sudden, I don't like fold phones. I'm thinking, going to Google, like, like, okay. So I think a lot of teams who claim to be serious need to find how they can plug into opportunities like that. Like you said, they are a template for every team across Africa, and I'm hoping that many teams can take a cue from them. Like, okay, it's not just waiting for 500,000 naira prize pool, but how can you make those effective partnerships?
Of course, effective partnership is the sustenance. Prize pool definitely is not the way a team survives. There are so many other value that can be created from brand partnerships to other endorsements, which should be done. And that comes from, the players within the teams building their own individual profile, because that's what we've seen with traditional sports where a footballer gets an endorsement and there's an impact definitely on his team, either directly or indirectly. Let's leave that one and talk about the big one now, going beyond Africa. VSPO landed $265 million investment from Savvy Games last year, and now they have the Asia Esports Champions League coming up. Beautiful idea. Sounds like Africa Mobile Community League that was done by some people way back and was a hit back to back. Maybe we'll just consider bringing that back. But let's talk about this one. Asia Esports Champions League, first of its kind, multi-titles. Prince Faisal is the chairman, honorary chairman of that league. It points in one direction, in my opinion, a feeder to the Esports World Cup on one side, and on the other side, a way to build the ecosystem for the Asian teams beyond waiting for the World Cup. And more than anything, it also allows the Saudis an inroads into the Asian market as a whole, which they definitely want to be involved in. Yeah,
I think this is a welcome development. Coming out there to say I'm envious.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Because what comes to mind is,
Africa
win. But I believe that's more activity for them. So in the grand scheme of things, it just makes esports more sustainable.
Exactly.
So for a calendar year, you have the publishers, they would have their own tournaments, which Asia benefits from. Now you have the Champions League, and then you have the World Cup where they have the top team. So it's showing more of a path route to sustainability. And once again, it looks like every corner you look at for that sustainability, Saudi is sitting there.
Just sitting pretty.
Exactly.
Making it happen.
Yeah, so the titles have not been
determined yet.
Have not been announced. They just mentioned it's going to be multi-title. So we're waiting to see what those titles will be. Obviously, when they announce that, you hear it here at the Afrogamer show.
Definitely.
So I think it's just time for us to start to think, how can Africa, even if it's not going to be in that grand picture.
And that was going to be my question. How do we bring this back home? Now, when you look at this particular announcement, this will be played online. So there's very little in terms of logistics other than the production and output for people to view. How do we make this happen? And like I mentioned, the African Mobile Community League, which you were involved in, I was involved in, you were the league commissioner at the time, was a success. Albeit low budget, considerable input in terms of production, but it was something that got the ecosystem, running. How do we bring this kind of idea at that level here, or what is needed for us to make it happen here? I have one in my head. I'll see if you would mention it, and then see if it can then, like the Asian Esports Champions League, be a feeder to the World Cup also.
That's a very interesting question. Outside of the AMCL, don't forget there was the World Connected Series, the first one that was online that had 84 teams.
Yeah,
so
from 15 countries.
From 15 countries. So we can do it. Doing it is not the issue. There's even La Coupe Africaine, which was PUBG, that surprisingly there were over 1,500 teams across Africa that registered. So we can actually do it where there's the spanner in the wheel, sponsorship. Even as much as we still keep it online, you still need that sponsorship. And in Africa, we're still playing that catch-up game of having to paint that picture of value to brands. I think that has been the challenge. As to whose fault it is, I will say it's on both sides. I won't say just brands who are not open-minded. A good product will always sell itself. So I think stakeholders are struggling to paint that picture beautifully, not clearly now, beautifully.
Make it attractive.
Exactly, to brands.
But what about the instance of the teams themselves? Because when you talked about 1,500 teams, they were not professional teams.
No, they're not professional.
Ife, Shayo, Victor,
Monkey
gathering
Post.
themselves. Exactly. I think
yeah.
that, for me personally, and that's what I said I was going to mention, that for me is the missing link. That professionalism is not there, and you won't get a look from the guys at the Esports World Cup Foundation if that is not there. So whatever we do, we need that professionalism that says this is what you're doing for a living. This is what you call your career. Then you're putting in the work, and every other party contributes to it.
So I understand and I agree, but we're still, in Africa, we still haven't taken gaming and esports as a option B. Even if you're still saying, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be this, it's still an option B. It's not even an option B, I'm sorry. It's an option E or F. Like, okay, this is what I do. So, talking about professionalism, there needs to be going back to the drawing board as to what professionalism is. Let's not forget that you speak to every gamer now, they say, oh, well, I'm a pro athlete, I'm a pro this. And, okay, you're a pro athlete, do you even have a simple one-pager contract? Or do you have a profile of your team? Do you have a profile of yourself?
Are you building that personal brand?
Are you building that? Can you track, even as a winning team, most of our winning teams, can you tell me this is, for example, I'll use Goliath as an example. For their players, you'd see a Mercedes-Benz Cup, 2-time winner.
So
MTN,
where are your achievements?
You have those achievements. Sadly, outside of Team Goliath, every other person you speak to, they don't have that. So I think first is the awareness that we are not professional. We need to accept that first, and like, how can we now
get to that point?
And just to add a little bit is that I still think we need to bring everyone in first before you build the professionalism. Just like how you have the English Premier League. That is the best of the best. So once you bring everyone in, then the best of the best is what you carve the professionalism around, so that when a team comes together, they'll be like, okay, fine, we want to be like these 10 teams. And if you notice, that is what Activision is doing with the Call of Duty Mobile League.
Yeah.
Not Mobile League, Call of Duty League.
League, yeah.
They have 10 teams, and everyone is saying, okay, as I form a team, I need to put my house in order so that I can be part of it.
This.
So
definitely, well said indeed, Ife, and it's been a robust conversation on the new segment of the Afrogamer show. We'll take a break right now, and the break is with the retro Super Mario. How many of you remember it? I said Mario has how many lives, as we used to say then.
3 lives, actually. He has 3 lives.
It always looks like it's more, but on the retro segment on the Afrogamer show this time around is Super Mario on Family.com. We'll be right back for more on the show. Don't go away. All right, welcome back. It's still the Afrogamer show, and I'm not doing this alone. Like I mentioned earlier on, Ife is still here with me, the managing editor of the Afrogamer, talking about the website that serves you the very best of African news from the world of esports. And definitely, it's always a pleasure doing this together, Ife. On the spotlight segment today, and it seems the Moroccans have taken all the spotlight. We need to start looking for other spotlight.
So
on the continent,
yeah.
It's how old is he now? 16-year-old.
16-year-old, yeah.
Moroccan who did wonders in Rocket League. Tell us about him.
Yes. So once again, I think Moroccans are doing something right.
Definitely.
In terms of their federation, their teams, everyone is aligned. You know, but you know, unlike the rest of Africa, which is topic for another day.
Another day, yeah.
So this young kid has been able to win the World Championships. 2-time World Championship for
in Rocket League.
The Rocket League. And then let's not forget that FIFA also has the Rocket League going on, and he is also in the final.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So he is putting in that work. Although he's signed to
Team BDS.
Team BDS, who is not Moroccan. It's, you know,
the Swiss company.
Yes,
the Swiss team. Sorry.
Swiss team. I'm sorry. So Europe, but he's still representing Morocco because the federation is promoting him
as it should be.
Like, this is our own, irrespective of if he's playing, for a team in Europe. So, and again, he has become the youngest in not just Morocco, but Africa to win a world championship for an esports title.
Good stuff indeed. Of course, he was involved with Team BDS at the Esports World Cup.
World Cup, yes.
So lots of exposure, lots of good stuff. And that's the thing. With such talent, imagine there's a Rocket League championship for just Africa, like the AFCON of Rocket League. It means that Morocco would be doing us dirty.
Yes.
A lot of teams
like they do
dirty.
everyone in NBA 2K.
In NBA, exactly. And that's the beauty of what the guys in Morocco are building. Fantastic stuff. All right, let's leave spotlight. Of course, kudos to him. And we wish him the very best going forward. We want to see more of him, ruling the world of Rocket League. Let's leave that and goes to our spotlight. And it's interesting news as we have the Commonwealth. The announcement has been made for the Commonwealth to be hosted by Scotland. That's after Australia pulled out of hosting this. So Scotland will be hosting the Commonwealth Games in 2026, which is just 2 years from now. And the big question we are asking, and we'll talk about now, is if there would be another Commonwealth Esports Championships after the inaugural one in Birmingham in 2022.
I think there will be. There's already an existing partnership. I don't think it's just for Birmingham. I think there will be. If it gives us any consolation, the Global Esports Federation posted and congratulated the Commonwealth. So I'm sure, you know, they have that in the bag. Like, okay, there will be that conversation 2026.
Hopefully visas would allow us go this time.
Exactly. Hopefully.
Because Nigeria missed out based on just visa issues.
Yeah, so I believe they will have that. But once again, with the rumors of what's going on with the esports, a possible merger, you know, we don't know how things like that would play out, because those are more of IP for one of the bodies, and if there's a merger, do they adopt all those IPs that they all have? So
well, in my opinion, I'm thinking the members of both, we have members who are in both sides or in both federations. So
cross parties, APC and PDP.
So definitely it doesn't matter. It's just a way of co-opting them. But fingers crossed, we'll wait and see if there would be the Commonwealth Esports Championships in Scotland in 2026. But more than that, we hope that visas would not be an impediment, because Ghana missed out because of visas, Nigeria missed out. I think, okay, Kenya was there. A couple of other countries made it from the African continent, but Nigeria and Ghana missed out because of that. Okay, moving on the show right now, we'll take a short break, show you a snippet from what's happening. We talked about it during the news segment. A snippet of what's happening at the Gameathon 2024, a recap of different days and different highlights. We'll be right back to wrap up the show. Don't go away, it's still the Afrogamer show, where we talk about everything esports gaming and the games.
To see you all here, because this is a huge opportunity. The main aim of this gathering is for us to connect with one another. Before we even go out there to the global west, we really need to fix our stuff back home, right? Why are we always looking for support out there when we have the resources on the continent and we are not interacting, we are not sharing?
We've been doing our best to gather multiple people across different parts of Africa and the rest of the world to come and connect, make games, have important discussions, and just help move the community forward.
This is an event that is not just talks. It's not really about presentations. We've done it for many years. We've had presentations from global speakers. This is the 5th year, and the main idea for this year is for us to speak with one another and see how we can fix ourselves in-house, how we can go cross-border, because there's so much we can do together.
The theme for this year really resonates with you, and I hope that whatever it is they are building, it can be difficult. I agree. Wherever you are, there are different unique challenges. Like I said, I know Nigeria's challenges very well. I'm here, but wherever country you're from, it's not free of challenges. And I hope that you keep having faith in whatever it is that you're a part of, especially when it comes to video games industry.
We are live from Lagos, Nigeria, and we have been invited for the Africa Comicade event, where I'll be testing games from the different devs that are here, and I can't wait to do that. Yeah.
I'm really excited to be here again. I was here last year, and this year is even more amazing than what last year was.
I am very pleased to be today at the Africa Comicade event, where I will learn a little bit more, even a lot more about the Nigerian market.
Being at Afrocomic is really a fun experience, and I'm excited to see what the day holds, but most importantly, I'm excited to network with everyone here.
Connect with people, different game devs, and then learn from them, and also explore Lagos.
Alright, welcome back. It's the final lap of the show, and we've got just two things to show you: the fun side of games and game over. You know, game over is always something about something thought-provoking, and definitely spurs either you or anyone around you, or even the guys in government, to take action or take a look at the world of esports and see how we can make things better. But let's talk about the fun side of games first. We've seen a lot in the last 8 episodes, and this time around, we're showing some guys playing EAFC by the waterside. I don't know the name of that. Maybe the guys, when they know it, you can put your comments in the comment section on YouTube or any of our other social media platforms. But they were playing EAFC by that waterside. And the question I ask about all these kind of things is, what exactly is the motivation?
No, I think people are just looking for that idea of a large screen. Anywhere you have a large screen and you are chilling, don't forget, we've seen the ceiling, we've seen the wall,
we've seen the walkway.
We've seen the walkway.
We've seen the car.
Yeah, we've seen the car. Then we've seen outside of the building, which is also the wall
yeah.
also. So I think people are just looking for anything creative outside of the regular traditional TV, which to me I think is cool. If I can see something that will project something onto the pool itself, and we can see it, I'm fine with it. But it's nice to just know the options you have while gaming, which to me I just think it's very, very cool.
Very, very cool indeed. Thank you so much, Ife, for being on the show. It was great having you. I don't know when next that will be, but it's always a pleasure. We'll always do the usual stuff. All right, guys, it's time to go on the show today, but not without our game over. So come close, let us talk. It's happy independence to Nigeria with the Independence Day on October 1st, with Nigeria clocking 64 years. And over the years, it's always been about youth being the leaders of tomorrow. But it seems Mr. President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, believes the youth are the leaders of today, and he has decided to come up with a conference, a national youth conference, a 30-day I'm tempted to call it a soiree. I hope it is not. I hope it will be something that changes the fortune of youths in Nigeria, where they would get to talk about different things. And something I have seen that is missing from the agenda is something I have seen reshape economies the world over: sports and esports. It may sound like it's leisure, but the truth is sports is big business the world over. You can consider what the economy of countries like England, Spain, Italy, Belgium, even the United States, and most recently Saudi Arabia has been impacted by sports and esports and the changes that are happening to the lives of young people there. For that reason alone, I believe that these two elements, sports and esports, should be on the table as part of the discussions and how we can build and rebuild the lives of the young people in Nigeria from the bottom up, and reshape lives and reshape stories and reshape fortunes of these young people who are over 70 or about 70% of the Nigerian population. This, I believe, is doable. This, I believe, can be factored into the agenda of the National Youth Conference whenever and wherever it is planned. And I believe that we definitely have capable young people who can contribute to that discussion and to reshape things. That is the game over for today, and I hope that a move would be made by the powers that be. My name is Shayo. It's been the Afrogamer show right here on Afro Sports TV. Let's do this again next week. Bye for now, guys.